Namaskar, I'm Samanvay. You all know me as Sitar Sam also. After a long gap, I come again with my tutorial video on YouTube for my subscribers and viewers. So this time the subject is form is more important than technique. Yeah, technique comes later. The first thing that is very important is form. Now, what is form? Form is how you hold the sitar, how you put a mizrab, yeah, how you wear the mizrab, how the positioning of your hands, yeah. These things are more important than technique because the technique, the foundation of a good technique is based on these things, form that we call it. So, few things, few very important, informations and anecdotes I'm going to give you today. That is right hand. Always I say, again I'm telling it, right hand creates the basic impact. So it's very important, and at the same time, right hand holds the sitar. Yeah, how you keep pressure in your elbow joint, yeah, and your left toe cup, that decides what balance you are keeping while you are holding a sitar. So now right hand is the hand if you wish to master skills, and if you wish to play this instrument very skillfully. So you must know that while you are holding a sitar and while playing a sitar, your right hand must stay very still and very straight and horizontal to the surface. Yeah, so it has to be this way. The forearm, wrist, your palm and the fingers, they must be in one line, in a single line, and the positioning is very much horizontal to the surface. Basically, most of the learners I have seen that while you are playing, our wrist tends to drop like this. So this is a big mistake. This is natural movement, but in case of sitar playing, this is a big mistake. Yeah, it's same like, because sitar playing is very much depends on the very much natural movements of your hand and fingers, right? When we wish to punch somebody, we cannot do it like this way, right? It has to be this way. Wrist, see the wrist position with the arm, yeah, and fingers very straight, very straight. So this is the primary position when you're playing a sitar. It's the same thing like you wish to punch. So this is the same thing, it has to be. Now why? In every video I always tell you to ask what, why and how. Yeah, so these three questions: what you are doing, why you are doing, and how you are doing, these three things are very important. So whosoever you are learning with, you must ask these questions. You should not hesitate to ask this question. If some exercise has been given, then what is it, what I am practicing, why I am practicing it, the benefit of it, and how I am practicing the technique, form and the technique, right? So why this is so in a straight line? Yeah, because at the same time, basically sitar is an instrument, I told it earlier also. Sitar is an instrument which is basically played by the fingers, not by the wrist. It's not the sarod, it's not like sarod or guitar where the wrist movement is in full swing, because five of the fingers, all the fingers are very free whenever you are playing sarod or a guitar. So this is, you hold the plectrum with five fingers like this, yeah, or the java, what you call it in sarod. So then is this swing is very free, you can free swing it very freely. But in case of sitar, the moment you fix your thumb here, the moment you take a look, moment you fix your thumb here in the last fret, your wrist movement is restricted, right? So given to that fact, we must accept that sitar is being played by fingers, not by the wrist. So wrist movement should not be anyhow involved in sitar playing. But the wrist has its own role also, right? The moment you keep them in a straight line, the forearms, the wrist, and the fingers and palm, wrist and forearms, they give you the strength. Forearms muscles, when you're playing sitar, if your forearms muscles are getting tired, then you are on the right path. If your fingers are hurting or the palm is aching, then something must be wrong in the technique and form, right? So these forearm muscles, they provide you the strength, provides fingers the strength, but it channelizes through wrist. Yeah. And if you take the anatomy and the physiology of human body, in any action in human body, you cannot use multiple joints. Yeah. So wrist is one joint, and fingers are, because this is the finger joint, because this is the minor joint of finger, but this is the actual finger joint with your hand. So these two cannot work together like this. Yeah, it's not possible in human body. In our anatomy, it's not possible. In our physiology, it's not possible. So this is the fundamental cause why wrist and fingers. Yeah, when you are playing a sarod or a guitar, your fingers are not flexing. Only your wrist is flexing. So this is very what should I say? This is very acceptable, that at the same time you cannot use two joints of your body at a time. Whatever you do, doesn't matter, but two joints at a time cannot flip and flex at the same time. So that's the reason, that's the only reason why we should not use the fingers and wrist at the same time. If you're doing it, you're doing it wrong. This is the one very fundamental aspect, that your arm must be very horizontal to the surface, and it has to be very straight. Arm, wrist, palm, and the fingers, right? They must be in a very straight line, and you fix your thumb here, so that, and your fingers, see the natural movement, fingers are pointing towards your left, not towards the surface. The moment you do toward, you just point it towards the surface, the energy providing forearms muscles, the energy is, they are restricted here, they are obstructed. Yeah, obstructed here. So this is not the way, this is the way. Now basically in sitar, rather we call it stroking. It's a kind of brushing, like da and da, da and da, da and da. So this is basically brushing, not stroking. Striking is you strike hard, but if you have the right form, like the fingers are pointing towards your left, it's only brushing, and you have more control over your strokes with this. Yeah. So this is the first thing. Second thing, your mizrab. Yeah, your mizrab must be an integral part of your finger when you are playing sitar. It should not be an isolated element only, isolated thing like this. So there should not be any extension like this. I have told it several times earlier also. Not like this, no extension on the top, neither at the back. So when you put the mizrab in, it has to be very much fit into your fingers, like it's an integral part of your finger. That's about the mizrab, right? And more you get power and strength on your right, in your right hand, more your left starts working freely and fluently. This is very important point. More you get power, use the power properly of right hand, the forearm muscles. Yeah, the more your left hand starts working very freely and fluently, because you need to put strength while you are stroking, while you are striking. But at the same time, left hand, till you are, until you are pulling the strings, playing some gamak or playing some mean, it has to be very much light and fluent, right? Like you don't need to grab it or press it hard, because basically on the left hand, the three fingertips, the thumb and the this finger and first finger and the second finger, yeah, means the first finger and the middle finger, these three fingers, they touch the sitar. In them, two of these fingers, you know two of this index finger and the middle finger, they touch the string itself, and your thumb only touches the sitar only to a mere point. So on left hand, it should not be grabbing hard, yeah, it should be only touching the string and pressing that much only, that can with that pressing you can take out the sound. That's enough. Like the moment you do, you put more pressure and you lose your fluency and the what should I say, flexibility in your fingers. So this is very important thing. So what it is, more power and more strength you generate through your right hand stroking, right hand brushing rather I say, more fluently and more efficiently your left hand works, right? So these are very important things. Maybe we sometime we don't care for them much, and very often we are confused, we are obstructed and misguided in the midway of our learning. So these things you must keep it in mind. Now STSOR, yeah, STSOR, what I call Sitar technique and sequence of Riyaz, is my brainchild. Yeah, that's a workshop I have been doing since last couple of years through the whole lockdown. Yeah, and I have proven to all my attendees that this is the best collective workshop on skill and technique and form, where I talk more in detail about these things, how you should work, how you should practice, what you should practice, how you should practice. So this STSOR workshop is a milestone for every learner. Yeah, and whosoever joined it, attended it, all of them, they have accepted that this is the workshop for a lifetime to practice. And I show not only in single rag, yeah, I always tell that always you should practice on a rag. Whatever you practice, you are practicing your skills, you are practicing your guts, you are practicing whatever you practice, you must practice on a rag. Because end of the day, you have to present a rag only, not natural notes. Sarigama padanisa doesn't make any sense, rather nirigama danisa nidabamagarisa. You have to practice, you must practice a rag, because you have to present everything on a rag itself. So in this STSOR, I tell you that how things work on different rags, how you feed the same elements on different rags, how you feed the same technique, same form on different rags. So STSOR, this is a very quite a popular workshop of mine. So again, I'll be conducting this STSOR workshop on the last weekend of March. This is 26th and 27th of March, Saturday and Sunday, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So whosoever is interested, please feel free to contact me. My WhatsApp number, my email will be in the description box, and I'll be happy to share all my knowledge so far I've gathered and researched on that, because only knowing and learning is not enough, as I have the experience of 35 years of learning and research. Because top of learning and knowing, there is one more thing very important, is research. So this STSOR is basically my research, how to make a workshop very collectively, so that learner get it everything in one place, very collective effort. And so I'm ready with it. I'm ready to share, and whosoever wish to know in detail, know more in depth, please contact me and I will be happy to share. So for now, this much. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the last weekend of March, that is 26th and 27th of March, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Thank you so much. Namaskar.